young person need people like you that can share with them what it really means to protest and not loot. Like some folks in this generation, they just want to go and get a new pair of Jordans. They just want to go out there to go get a new Louis bag from the Louis. But that's not what protesting is. So from somebody from your generation who grew up in this, share with our young persons how that is so degrading and demeaning to the movement when people take the blood, sweat, and tears, and now they're just using it to just go and get a free TV from Target.
Right.
How does that make you all feel?
Right. Thank you for that lead-in, because we show the videos of Dr. King the March. We show the videos of the dogs barking at the young people. We show the video of the aftermath of the 16th Street Baptist Church, where 4 young girls were killed in Sunday school.
Right.
And so for the memory of all these people, and they were only protesting for the right to vote.
Right, right.
They were protesting for the right to vote. And they put their lives on the line so that we could go and cast our ballots today.
Right.
And so I wanted to make sure that we got to that point as well, that when we don't vote, we spit on the graves of all the people who said, I will learn the Constitution from beginning to end if that's necessary to qualify me to vote, because that's what some people had to do.
Right.
That was back in the days of the Jim Crow laws. Now we have James Crow Esquire, but in the days of Jim Crow, they could make up any rule they wanted to because they were the government and say, well, you can't vote because you don't know the Constitution. You can't vote because of X, Y, or Z. These were people in that day who knew how important the vote was, how it could change things, and they were willing to put themselves on the front line to get the right to vote. But in addition to all of that, because black people were segregated, second-class citizens, actually counted as 3/5 of a person. So as you and I are standing here combined, we wouldn't even be a whole person.
Right.
But we marched, we protested, and we showed our mind. And that's why when you're talking about having a strong mind, education makes the difference.
Yeah.
Because anybody can pick up a brick and throw it through a window and steal.
Right.
But it takes a sound mind, an educated mind, to be able to stand toe to toe and argue your point with anybody, any lawyer, any doctor, any person who is in whatever profession, an educator, because you have an educated mind. You know the difference between right and wrong. You know when people are trying to pull the wool over your eyes and trying to bamboozle you, trying to play the okie doke with you. You are smarter than that. Yeah. And so as you were talking about, you don't allow yourselves to be pushed into doing something that you know is wrong. You know the 10 Commandments, thou shalt not steal. You know it's wrong to steal. Nobody has to tell you that. But you lose something in the value of persuading others to come on your side when you go and do things that are wrong. Right. Stealing is wrong. We don't have to tell you that. But when you can go and stand toe to toe and talk to people about why this is wrong, why putting your knee on George's neck was wrong, as if he didn't know, why separate schools and undervaluing education and not paying our teachers what they deserve, why things should be happening why certain laws should be in place so that they won't be able to cheat on the elections. But you have to know it in order to articulate it.
That's it.
You have to know it in order to articulate it. So that's why I say to young people, you need to be smart. You need to be smart, because if you're not smart, anybody can tell you anything and you'll believe it.
Wow.
You will believe it. So you've got to be smart. And all of those people in all those black and white films that we look at, they were smart people. Yeah. Because back then, they were not allowed to go to school, some of them. But they found a way to be educated anyhow.
That's it.
They found a way because they knew that education was the key. Education made the difference. So you want to be the smartest one in class. You want to be able to, whenever any question is asked about anything, you have an answer. You have a response because you studied to show yourself approved. Not only in the Word of God, but also in your English class, in your math class, in your trig class, in your history class. And when they want to look for somebody to put in a position, when they want to elevate somebody, they will remember your name because you were smart. You stood up for what was right, and you didn't let your friends push you into doing what was wrong. Again, nobody has to tell you that thou shalt not steal. You know stealing is wrong. And when you get caught, then you get locked up. Then you have no value because you're in the jail. And then you're going to be there forever. Instead of being on the street, holding your fist high, power to the people, you can do that because you're free. But you lock yourself up when you do things that are wrong. Right. Let's start a GoFundMe account. No, we're not going to pay for you to do wrong. But we will walk with you in powerful protests that are done in a collective manner, that are done peacefully, and done with others who have a sound mind and a like mind, just like you. So don't expect us to encourage you to do wrong. Don't expect us to encourage you to follow you to do wrong or anything like that. But if you're doing the right thing, we'll walk hand to hand. Well, we can't because of the virus, but we'll walk side by side, 6 feet apart, and support everything that you're doing. Because it is unfortunate that from my time of growing up to right now, a lot of things still have not changed. And so it means that we've got to pass this spirit of power to the next generation. We've got to send that spirit that says, I will not fear any man. That's what Dr. King says. Because you are the same as I am. And so we need to pass that spirit of fear. Fortunately or unfortunately, you didn't have all that racism and sexism that we had in our face. George Wallace, who said at the steps of the University of Alabama, segregation now, segregation forever.
Right.
He said it. No black person will ever attend this school. Now look at the football team at the University of Alabama. All black, almost, okay? Right. But his determination was no black person would ever attend University of Alabama. And so we have come a long way in some areas, but in some others, we've still got a long way to go. My brother Brian Stevenson and the book Just Mercy reminds us those things are happening right now. He's a young man still working for change in Alabama. So we have to know that we will stand together. We will raise our fists together. Wakanda forever. Our true justice and righteousness forever. But you got to do it the right way so that we can walk with you. We're never going to encourage you to do wrong, but we will always work with you to do what's right.